Thank you for your patience, everyone. Good to go?
We're good to go. We're live.
All right, it is now 7:03 PM on Monday, April 27th, 2026. I call this regular Board of Education meeting to order. Ms. Sully, will you please call the roll?
Jennifer Quigley. Here. Chris Hamilton.
Here.
Erica Peterson.
Here.
Jillian Phelps. Here. John Ruggles. Fred Stepstrom.
Here.
Lisa Brewster. Here.
Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Sully, do we have any public comments?
We should have.
All right. Would anybody like to add any non-action items? Okay. Moving on to our first action item, 6A. So the consideration of a resolution regarding the county school facility occupation tax. So just to get all the proper legalese in, this is the script that I had to run my car real quick for. So as a board, we are acutely aware of the heavy burden already carried by our local property taxpayers. At the same time, we are navigating a landscape of high uncertainty in federal funding for public schools education and declining reimbursement for mandated categoricals. We want to continue securing our facilities and supporting our students' safety and mental health without continually relying on local homeowners. We've collectively been tasked with identifying alternative revenue streams. Under Illinois law, school districts can petition the regional superintendent to place a 1% countywide sales tax measure on the general election ballot. By law, these funds can only be used for facility or security upgrades, paying down existing debt, which directly relieves property taxes, and funding school resource officers and mental health professionals. Furthermore, because sales tax is paid by anyone shopping in Lake County, it helps shifting funding away from local residents alone. About 52% of sales tax revenue collected comes from non-residents of Lake County. To pose this question on the November 2026 ballot, school boards representing more than 50% of Lake County's student enrollment must pass a resolution like the one before us tonight. I want to be very clear that passing this resolution tonight does not raise taxes. What it does is put the power exactly where it belongs, in the hands of our community. Passing this resolution tonight simply allows the Lake County voters to have a voice at the ballot box. Is there any discussion on this item? Any questions? Okay. So I need a motion to approve the resolution directing the regional superintendent of the schools for the county of Lake, Illinois, to certify to the county clerk of said county the question of imposing a retailer's occupation tax and a service occupation tax to be used exclusively for school facility purposes, school resource officers, and mental health professionals for submission to the electors of said county at the general election to be held on the third day of November 2026. Is there a motion?
Motion to support the resolution you just read.
Second.
All right, Ms. Sully, will you please call the roll?
Jennifer Quigley.
Yes.
Chris Hamilton.
Yes.
Erica Peterson.
Yes.
Jillian Phelps.
Yes.
Fred Stepstrom.
Yes.
And Lisa Brewster.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now that we have passed this resolution, we can provide information in our official capacity, but we're not to, as board members, we cannot be supporting it or detracting from it. All right. 6B, approval of Cottonwood Estate Impact Fee Agreement. The actual numbers were in Ms. Kraft's board report. Again, this is undeveloped land. Were it to become developed, this is how much the developers would owe in property taxes once they decide what to build. Any questions on it? Okay, is there a motion to approve the Cottonwood Estates Impact Fee Agreement?
I move to approve the Cottonwood Estates Impact Fee Agreement.
Second.
Ms. Sully, please call the roll.
Chris Hamilton.
Yes.
Erica Peterson,
Yes.
Julie Phelps,
Yes.
Brad Steptoe,
Yes.
Lisa Rooster,
Yes.
and Jennifer Quigley.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, our consent agenda, 6C. Some hires, some moving around in positions. Looks like we filled all of our summer help that we were looking for with custodians and tech help. Any questions on the consent agenda? All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Sully, please call the roll.
Erica Peterson,
Yes.
Julie Phelps,
Yes.
Brad Steptoe,
Yes.
Lisa Rooster,
Yes.
Jennifer Quigley,
Yes.
Chris Hamilton,
Yes.
motion passed.
Thank you. Moving right through that. And information discussion, the school safety officer, as we know, some of the districts pulled out. There's a possibility this could be a grant funded position. Dr. Lynn has been shopping around for that, and there's one company that has done a lot of grant writing. Looking at about $500,000 grant. They'll be charging maybe 18 grand, which seems like a lot, but if they can get us 25-fold in return, it could be beneficial, but would you like to say more on that topic?
Yes, I will continue researching the grant
Okay,
avenue. And also continue to talk with the Lakes High School and some of the other districts who are interested in sharing. And even if we don't get the grant, would we be interested in getting that? And what would we get for that position? So I did have a conversation with one of our parents who's a police officer in one of the other areas, and he's he works in that realm and understands. And I said, are we headed in the right track with this job description? Is this something that is value added outside of even if we had a school resource officer? He said, absolutely. And the challenges for the board and the community is, and for me, it was for me, understanding what that position, the value added for that position and what it does, because it's hard to spend money, and it's hard to spend money when money's tight. But the complication of school safety and how it's changed in the last even 5 years, it's becoming more and more important. So it's a very important position. I'm not saying I don't have a proposal in front of you yet, but I'm just saying I'm still looking into it, and this is something we should definitely consider as a board to help us out with our safety and help our kids become more safe and our staff. And it's pretty important. What's interesting is that just looking into something today, we haven't had any deaths in schools with fire since I don't know when, and not very many in the last 100 years. And part of that's due to the safety protocols that were put in place with sprinklers and cement and steel buildings. There's not a lot that's going to catch on fire where we can't get out in time, but we drill for that required 3 times a year. Is it at least 3 times a year? And we have 1 or 2 octane drills that are required. So we're trying to flip that and have an understanding of, let's talk about this. And it's really hard to talk about and to prepare for, because it's a pretty emotional, gut-wrenching topic and very hard. And some of the trainings that I've been in, when they show videos of scenarios, and it's pretty tough to watch. And we see it when there is an event at a school. It causes us all to take a second look. So, but I think we do need to continue to address it, continue to do whatever we can. There's nothing to prepare fully for an event, especially for a school shooting event. Nothing. You hear that time and time. We just weren't prepared. I don't know if there's anything we can do to fully prepare for that, but the more we can prepare for that to make it, if it does happen in our district, heaven forbid, that we would be ready for that, the better we are. We do a lot of prevention. I think as a school district and school employees, our role is prevention. As a community, our role is prevention as teachers to notice what works most effectively is noticing things and saying something to somebody. So if you notice one of your kids or your friends, your kids' friends saying something, posting something, that's when it gets stopped at that level. Or in the community, if we notice something or teachers notice things and we take those next steps for intervention, that's what keeps it safe. That's the best deterrent. But short of that, even in the best scenario and cases, it's a possibility. We have to be ready for that. So I don't have a whole lot different to say other from last time, just that I'm continuing to dig and work, and it's in the front. I don't want to lose track of it. It's in the top of mind, and we'll continue pushing for that. And if you have any questions or comments, happy to take them.
Any questions on that? All right. Thank you. Some long worded FOIA requests. Any question on any of those?
Are any of them noteworthy? That's my only question.
Nope.
All right. Moving on, number 8, future agenda items. We'll have, regularly we review certain policies for a member of the press service. And they'll update footnotes as laws change. So got some of those coming up. Any additional items to add for future that people want to know about? Well, if you do, just let me know.
I have 2 just reminders coming up. Our amended budget Carly is going to present in May. And also our MMS ELA curriculum adoption is going to be presented in May. They came to a decision last week and now they're working on presentation for the board and understanding the cost and what. I haven't seen that yet, so we'll see.
Sounds good. Do you have, so moving on to number 8, your report, Dr. Lind, anything else to add?
Wednesday night, I will be hosting a Title I informational session here at the school. So that's where we have to, by law, invite parents in to give feedback on our Title I services. Anything that we don't really have Title I services, we're not Title I schools. But we do use Title I money to support students academically after school. So our homework hut, can be supported by Title I. We have a tutoring, it's called Smart 2 at the elementary school. We have a mentoring program at the middle school. All of that is supported with Title I funding. And so any student who's involved in that, by statute, we have to invite them in to give us feedback. So hopefully someone shows up. And in lieu of, if they don't, we have 2 opportunities. So part of the law says, or the regulations, not technically a law, but it's regulations, say that you have to offer opportunities when parents are available. So multiple opportunities there, Wednesday night, and then again in mid-May in the morning before school. And then I offered feedback through the Google form that can be filled out and give us feedback that way. So we have our bases covered and it's valuable information. So I hope people participate.
Thank you. Ms. Kraft.
Just one update, if we can jump into the business office report. Scroll down just a smidge. To the benefits insurance increases for next year. So earlier this month, the benefits cooperative met, and if we scroll down to the top of the second page, those are the increases for benefits for next year. So the HMO will see a 15.8% increase. The PPO just under a 15% increase. The Delta Dental HMO 16.2, Delta dental PPO 2.5, and vision 2%. So dollars, that means about just over $470,000 a year extra to cover the cost of benefits for next year. There will be no,
Question
oh,
about.
sure, sure.
We're in a cohort group, right, with local people, local groups that all go together to make it cheaper. Are we stuck with that group? Because I know not all groups are getting these numbers right now.
We're not stuck with it, but from what I'm hearing from, the business managers get together every month, and a good chunk of other cooperatives are seeing also double-digit increases. And the people that chimed in at those meetings have also been told the same thing that our cooperative has been told, in that to expect a double-digit increase to medical insurance for the next few years. So if you know,
Expected or not?
to be expected. But I'd be curious to learn more about the groups or cooperatives that you're referring to.
Yeah, I might know one.
Okay, there's a very large one that a lot of school districts participate in, and they're at about these rates as well.
Hmm.
But it's also not a school district thing. It's a nationwide issue that medical insurance is increasing significantly.
I just didn't know if we were able to shop around for the group we might be a part of to help with that cost.
Do you know when you hear that the increases are not this high, what their rates are as well? Because if the rates are higher than what we have, a 2% increase or whatever wouldn't be that drastic.
Yeah,
So I'd be curious to know that as well. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to look in, if you
yeah,
know the name,
Yeah.
I can look into it.
yeah. I can't think of what it is.
Okay, yeah.
It's
No, that's
initials,
Yeah.
but I'll send it to you.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cause it could be that the premium is just more expensive
Right.
and that's why. But it might be worth just checking.
For sure, yeah. It's oh, go ahead. I bet you're
Yeah,
going to
we-
say the same.
Probably. We can get out of the co-op. And we can shop around, but it takes a year better to get out. And we can shop around. It's a process. But definitely we can do that. We've done it before. It's been a long time, but Dr. Johns looked into that at one point and we decided to stay. But what often happens is that an insurance company, and I don't know if it's still this way, but insurance companies will look less expensive at the beginning. And then once you get into them, they'll increase their rates rapidly. So we saw the experiences of other districts around us and it wasn't. Well, we could have saved a little bit the first year. Eventually, we saw over the couple of years, those districts actually went past us. So it all depends on your benefit, the way it's structured, so how good are the benefits, how good's the protection, how. There's so many variables there that we could look at things, and Carly did try to ask our co-op to look at some options, which is why we went from 19.16 down to 15%. So there are things we can do, it's expensive. It's a interesting environment, that's for sure.
And just to piggyback off of that, so initially with the PPO medical plan, the increase was just under 20%. And so the cooperative had a couple very good conversations on how we could try to mitigate that cost, and we did. Pushed it down just under 15%, which ended up saving close to $100,000 by changing the plan design a little bit. But what we're doing even further is meeting in June. So typically we don't meet in June or over the summer, but meet in June this year to continue that conversation to see how we can slow this, the future hits a little bit more in the future. So that's something that we're working towards as well.
And the insurance company said that this will be like this for the next couple of years, like these high rates, to
Yes.
expect this.
Yeah, Blue Cross Blue Shield, yes.
That's the only thing you wanted to touch on?
Yep, and, oh, and then in the next meeting, as Dr. Lind mentioned, we'll have the budget amendment and, discuss transfer of interest. That's it.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any board reports?
I attended the art show, I guess that was last Friday. I'm trying to think the day. As always, the art was amazing. Milburn's art was excellent as always. The high school art's always really impressive as well, so that was a lot of fun.
Wonderful.
Which one did you go to?
The one at Lakes.
Let's.
Yeah.
Any other?
Excellent. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's a great show, what?
Warren-
I've learned
Warren was the
that-
same night.
I don't wanna give the secret away, but we started coming towards the later end of the show, and it's a lot less crowded, so you can really spend more time and enjoy the art.
And there was, so no other, board reports? Okay. There was the Lake Division meeting for IASB, attended that last week as well. The keynote speaker had fallen ill, so we were visited by Dr. Jeff Foyt from District 117 as an interim guest speaker. And then my son participated in the Warren Art Night as well, and that was, I had never been to the one at Lakes, but at Warren, they pair your child up with then a senior who may, or a high school student who then makes a copy of their art. And it's really awesome to
That's
see
cool.
the interaction between them and the high school students' interpretation of the littles' art. All right, yeah.
Precinct Work is Thursday for
Yeah.
anybody interested in our show.
Yep,
All right.
get to do all three.
All right, closed session. Oh. For the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in park recreation or educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee, a specific individual who serves as an independent contractor in a park recreational or educational setting, or a volunteer of the public body, or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. However, a meeting to consider an increase in compensation to a specific employee of a public body that is subject to the Local Government Wage Increase Transparency Act may not be closed and shall be open to the public and posted and held in accordance with this Act 5 ILCS 120/2C1. Is there a motion?
Motion move to closed session.
I'll second.
Ms. Sully, please call the roll.
Jennifer Quickly,
Yes.
Dennis Hamilton,
Yes.
Erica Peterson,
Yes.
Jillian Phelps,
Yes.
Brad Stepstrom,
Yes.
and Lisa Brewster.
Yes.
All right, we are now in closed session. We will not be taking any action after we return. Thank you for joining us for our visitors in person and online. Have a good night.